Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Abby Monroe, and I'm the Nonprofit Connection Director here at the United Way of Northern Utah. We're excited to have Amanda today present to us on digital marketing. We appreciate her sharing her time and talent and offering all the resources that she's going to provide to us today. I also wanted to take a moment and thank our sponsors who help the Nonprofit Connection be able to do the things that they do. Comcast and Menchie's, they help a lot to make kind of the world go round over here. So we appreciate them, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Amanda.
Wonderful. Thank you, Abby. And hello, good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and present. I see a few familiar faces, and that's a lot of fun. So I'll just give a brief introduction. My name is Amanda Goodwin Garska, and I have been doing small business slash nonprofit work for about 10 years. In my background, I graduated from Utah Valley University in public relations. And while I was there, my senior year, I was able to do a campaign for the Student Veterans of America. It was part of a competition team, and we helped students get access to their GI Bill benefits. And that's funny because it's kind of what I do now at United Way in Northern Utah, connecting people to the right resources that they need. After college, I worked at Provo City School District as their social media specialist. And I love our country and I love education. And then I worked for the Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce. Here I got to know small businesses really well as nonprofit work. And I was the member services director there. And through these experiences, I noticed three things. One, the key to confidence is education. Two, the key to connection is community. And three, the key to love is vulnerability. And so I try to infuse these values into my work and what I do today for United Way of Northern Utah. Besides work, I am married to a veteran, actually, who served 15 years in the United States Air Force. We just celebrated our first year anniversary this past weekend, and we just had a baby. This is Mr. George. He is 7 months old, and he is thriving. He's my world. Love him. So that's a little introduction. Let me go through what we will be doing today. First, we're going to do an engaging activity. I'm going to give you a case study. I'm going to put us into Zoom rooms or breakout session rooms, and we're going to discuss amongst ourselves this case study and some solutions. Then I'll bring you all back together, and I might have a couple people share maybe some insights if they would like. Then I'm going to share 6 digital marketing strategies. I'm going to give you some more free resources because we're all nonprofits here, right? And then let's talk a little bit about the future of digital marketing, and then I'll open it up for Q&A at the very end. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to give us our case study. So before I went to UVU, I actually studied at Snow College. And when I was at Snow College, I took this law class. And in this law class, they gave us real life case studies and had us look up in our law book and debate against each other why our side was correct. Now, I'm not going to have you guys debate against one another, but I am going to have you guys maybe come up with some solutions. So this is based off of a true story. So what would you do? Here's the case. The governor has passed legislation requiring all students to be potty trained before attending kindergarten. School is about to start. Your early childhood network, composed of about 5 partners, has been tasked to spread the message to as many people as possible. You have two assets. The first asset is a 2-page brochure that the school district has made. And then the second asset you have is $28. So, using the assets you have, what plan will you come up with to spread the message to as many people as possible? But let alone the right people. So once again, your assets, a 2-page brochure that's in English and Spanish from the school district, and $28. So I am going to break us out into rooms. And then we will reconvene. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Okay, Abby, does it look like we have everybody back yet?
I think so.
Okay, wonderful. All right, there are no wrong answers to this. Does anybody want to share maybe some ideas that you came up with?
I can go first.
Great.
We felt to get a hold of the different avenues and do digital, where we could send out the brochure digitally and get the word out that way. We also felt maybe having some brochures at some locations for people who don't have access to the internet or those who like to actually see it in writing. We also talked about maybe having a plan set up in place so that we could be more proactive for the following year and start getting the information out sooner. If I miss anything, you guys jump in.
Wonderful. Great. I love that. Anyone else? We'll take one more person. No? Okay.
Yes,
All right, let's hear
I
it.
suggested that we get a hold of the PTA, providing the school district has such a thing. Because then you could get feet on the ground and get people to talk about it amongst themselves.
Wonderful. Great. Thanks for sharing, Elizabeth.
Hey, Mandy, I'm so sorry I couldn't get my microphone to work. Can I share
Oh.
just a little thing from our group?
Yes, absolutely.
We thought that we had a couple of those digital ideas as well at the beginning, but to get more boots on the ground and really like spread the word quickly, we thought maybe to bring our brochures to like child care centers or daycares and just kind of like, put in every kid's backpack or, send it home to the parent. So it's a little bit more like, please see this, acknowledge, but that was one of our ideas.
I like that. I like that. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Anna. So this is what we did. This was the brochure, beautiful brochure that Ogden School District had made. And it was approved information from approved resources. What we ended up doing is we made from this brochure 6 social media posts, one of those being a video that could be broadcasted in clinics. Also printing out some of those brochures that could be handed out, like you guys said, but we only had $28, so we didn't have too much printing cost for that. So we relied on some partners in printing some of that for themselves. The reason why we did a 2-week social media campaign push is because time-bound things are easier for people to commit to. So we posted on United Way on our social media channels Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Then we asked our partners to share our post on those days. And then with that $28, we created 4 geo-targeted ads. So with the sharing and ads, we were hoping for maybe 5,000 people in 2 weeks. And this is the results of our reach of the ads was, sorry, I went backwards, 3,282. And what's so great about this is we geo-targeted people in Ogden School District and parents with children 3 to 5 years of age. So these 3,000 people, we know for sure that they have children 3 to 5 years of age. Our best performing ad was our Spanish video. It had a 1.63% click rate, which is pretty much industry average. And from our partner shares is about 2,000-ish for a total of 5,509 people reached. That's not too bad for a 2-week push. All right, now we're going to go on to our 6 digital marketing strategies. Everything I share here is free, everything, okay? My intention isn't to show you some big fancy idea, and my intention isn't to show you a big technology that you might not be able to afford or know how to use or have to hire a specialist on how to use. I'm going to show you small items that will move the needle forward. Simple concepts that you can do without a lot of digital marketing background. And tweaks of what you're probably already doing that just make the world of a difference. Okay, so our first marketing strategy is social media marketing. And Abby, at this time, I was wondering if you'd be able to give that poll to everybody.
Yes, hold on just a second and I'll get that posted.
Okay, great. So the question in this poll that Abby is posing is, what type of selling can provide 45% more opportunities than traditional sales?
Amanda, I hadn't made that one yet. I went in the wrong order.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. So, let's just do this. I'll put in the chat the answers. What do you think the answer is? Social selling, word of mouth selling, or insight selling? You guys can just put in the chat there what you think it is. Okay, we got a social, we got a word of mouth, we got social. Okay, okay, I'm liking this. You guys are right, it's social selling. Okay. So I'm toggling in between here. One tweak that you can make that will move the needle forward are quarterly social media shares for your staff and board. So I want to give you an example of what this looks like. So as you can see here in my Google email, I have a title, please share. And I'm prompting them, I'm saying our day of caring is September 7th, and we need help recruiting volunteers. The attached image down here has been posted to our social media channels today. Would you please take a moment and share this post? And you can see here, I linked directly the posts, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So it makes it super, super easy for them to be advocates for you. So go ahead and they click here, they want to share on LinkedIn. It opens. This is the post. All they have to do is repost. They can even repost with their thoughts. I love volunteering for United Way in Northern Utah. Boom, share. So if you think about how many people you have on your board. Think about how many people you have on your staff. Let's say, for instance, you have 24 people on your board. let's average, maybe they have a reach of 100 on their social media channels. From one, I mean, that's 2,400-ish reach. And that's kind of like lowballing it as well too. And the best part about having this with your board and staff members is that their friends most likely share a cultural DNA of what they're already doing in their spheres. So that's a great way to amplify that. Another thing that you can do is post to groups. So, for instance, you know, you're from Ogden If, it has about 129,000 people there. Now, I would have a caveat to this: do it tastefully, and you know, does it make sense to post there? Is it of value? Don't post too much to these groups. There's also another group called Northern Utah Moms, for instance. Maybe I would post there from our United Way account. Hey, we are doing a diaper giveaway for our Welcome Baby program. And post there. Find these groups. What groups can you leverage? Which groups can you post to amplify your message more? And sometimes there are moderators in these groups. You might have to read the rules, but you can also like message the moderator too and be like, hey, would it be okay if I posted this? Or how could I phrase this in order to make this post live? This is why I feel like it's valuable for this group. Another tweak that you can do is using Linktree. So on your social media profiles, you only have one link, and sometimes you're running multiple campaigns. So when you use Linktree, you insert that link here. And like I said, this is a free program. And remember when I said that volunteer opportunity, it's linked here. We're also running a Stuff the Bus campaign, an AmeriCorps campaign. We always give people the option to donate. Always, always, always. Volunteer, and then our Evergreen website. So these will come off at the end of the month and will transition into new months. So those are a few tweaks for the digital marketing aspect of social media. Moving on to the next marketing strategy. Do you have this poll up by chance, Abby, that you could share with everyone? It is poll number 2.
Number 2. Let me pull that up. Hold on just a second.
Okay. And this poll question is, what % of advertisers spend money on search ads? Everyone take a moment just to answer number 2 there.
Is this working, Amanda?
It is, yeah. It's pulling up
good.
all questions, and that's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we are experimenting. So thank you, everyone. Oh, sorry, I meant poll number 3. That's what I meant. What % of advertisers spend money on search ads? I love how this updates live. So it looks like we're split right now. Okay, okay, we're still getting some answers in there. Interesting. And the answer is, let's end the poll now. The answer is 96% of advertisers spend money on search ads. Which brings us to our next topic, pay-per-click advertising. So I'm going to start at Google Ad Grants, actually. Google Ad Grants gives nonprofits $10,000 of free advertising, and you can use that advertising for search ads, which helps with your SEO, search engine optimization, basically your ability to be found online, okay? And we'll talk more about that. I am in the process of discovering if we can use Google Ad Grants for United Way of Northern Utah and for our separate programs, but I think it has to be underneath our own individual 501c3. So I think we only get one of those. All right, another pay-per-click advertising that we already discovered, which I shared earlier, was when we ran some Facebook social media ads. And then Canva Translate. You guys, this is so cool. I cannot wait to show you what Canva Translate does. So if you are struggling, if you don't have a lot of bilingual speakers, what you can do, Canva is free, is do translation that will literally take just 1 minute for you to do. So here's an example of a flyer. Okay, you select the items on your flyer, you go to Resize Magic, and you click the translate button. It gives you so many languages that you can translate into, okay? But we're just gonna select Spanish. You can even choose a tone if you want it professional, conversational. Let's do conversational. And then translate. It's just taking a moment. Let's see what it puts out for us. And look, it's in Espanol. Now, this top didn't translate into Spanish, but that's because it was actually a image file. And so you can't edit an image file. So make sure that when you're working from Canva, you have text boxes so that they update. One potential like negative aspect of this possibly is that maybe it's not exactly the right kind of Spanish, but it gives you a starting point. And you can infuse English into that as well too. All right, so what type of lead is this great for? I would say volunteers and donors. And when we're talking about time commitment here, it's probably about 15 minutes per ad, I would say. Just take a social media post you already have and turn it into an ad. And ads, you can do like them for significantly cheap, like maybe $1 a day for a week, and that's just $7. All right, on to the next digital marketing strategy, which is search engine optimization. This is what I'll do. I'll take the poll and I will insert it into the chat. And you guys can go from there. Okay. Google says backlinks are one of its top 3 ranking factors when it comes to SEO. Is that true or false? You can just type in the chat there. We got a true. Okay, I'm liking it. Well, everybody is 100% accurate so far. That's right, it's true. So what is backlinking? Basically, it's inserting your link into deeper pages on your own website, and that helps improve your SEO. And it's super simple, it's free, and it doesn't take a lot of time to do. So let me give you an example of what this looks like. This is our Stuff the Bus campaign. On our homepage, we have the link, and you click here, and it takes you to this page. We also have it nestled in our Get Involved and Year of Action pages as well too. There are 2 other ways that you can backlink. You can earn backlinks organically, meaning you provide so much value of what you wrote on your website that people are just automatically sharing this link, like you have to read this article or you have to see this post. And then the last one is asking. Maybe you ask a partner, hey, would you mind hosting like one of our webpage links on your website. And in return, we'd be happy for a limited amount of time to host a feature on our website of you. And if it makes sense to do that as well too. Okay, this is what keeps the engine going, right? This is great for leads for advocates, volunteers, and donors. Hence the search engine optimization. All right, the next digital marketing strategy is content marketing. So I have a poll here for you guys to engage in, and we'll see what you say. Readability increases your, is it conversion rates, donor engagement, or both? And readability is how long it takes somebody to understand your message. Great, yeah. The answer is both. So when we are putting information out there as nonprofits, sometimes we might use some jargony terms. One tool that you can use is Hemingway Editor. So let me navigate here. This is a press release I wrote, and I inserted it, copy and pasted it into Hemingway Editor. As you can see, it says the readability is grade 11, and it says aim for a 9th grade reading level. It says 6 of the 14 sentences are difficult to read. It may also have some, grammar suggestions as well too. So let's show you how this works. Let's do a recent example. So I'm just navigating to our stories page. Gonna hop on a recent story that we did, copy and paste this into the Hemingway editor. And as you can see, we're at a grade 9 and it says good. Only 3 sentences out of the 21 are hard to read. Now, why do you think this would be important? And why would I say that this is a more donor-centric tactic? You know what you do, day in, day out. But if you're going to have advocates and like donors on your behalf, they want to brag about why they produce their time and like investments towards this certain organization. Give them simple language. Give them language that's easy to explain so that they can brag to their friends and do that awesome word of mouth within their inner circles. So, all right, we'll go on to our next digital marketing strategy, which is email marketing. Maybe no surprise here, but let's clean up our email lists. This can be a mundane task, I know, but furthermore, let's segment your email list. So for instance, create a category that's for donors, create a category that's for volunteers, create a category for people that are interested in the nature center, right? Or one-time volunteer opportunities or group volunteer opportunities, because 85% of people are willing to share their email address if they are getting more personalized experiences. And an email address is like really valuable because that is a direct communication to a person. Nowadays, with social media, and the algorithms are getting so tricky, first thing I see when I log onto social media, even though I'm following groups and people, are cat videos, right? Because I love cats, and that's what the algorithm is going to show me. And then maybe 3 days later, I see a post from a nonprofit that I'm a part of, right? The algorithms are going to deliver what you are most likely wanting to see. So this is why it's important to have email marketing. Now, how do you gain like more emails? You create what's called a lead magnet to expand your list. Here's a great example of this. Abby has a nonprofit connection newsletter, and she has truly found a value in this. Each month, she looks up the grants, the upcoming grants, and inserts them in her newsletter. What this does is that it makes it easy for people who join her newsletter to not have to go out and find all of these upcoming grant dates and what to apply for. And is it like within the realm or possibility? It's a time saver and is really valuable. And as such, she's been able to grow her list. And if we made a landing page for her that says to, be included in this monthly newsletter, sign up here. You see this all the time. Like for instance, with this, I took a little quiz about interior design. It said my style was urban chic. And it said if I want to get like a free guide to decorating my own like room, to insert my email address here. And this is something I'm really looking forward to, right? So I want you to think, what is a value that you can provide? What would people want to sign up for? So this generates a lead of like volunteers and donors. Donors want to hear about your work. They want to hear about the stories. And so having them opt into a newsletter or in which they will hear about that on a consistent basis makes them feel part of it, connected, like they're making a difference. And volunteers, just looking for more volunteer opportunities. I would say the time commitment for this is probably about a day. It will probably take a day for you to create a landing page for people to insert like their email address, and a day to clean up your email lists as well too. Okay, on to the last digital marketing tactic. All right, web design. So 85% of people look at a website before they make a purchase, which is super important why we're up to date on our website design. So here's a tweak you can do now. Do a website audit. Go through your website. Do you have updated information? Do you have updated photos? Like I said, this isn't like some big grand idea I'm sharing, but it's something that just needs to be done and something that maybe might fall off the radar. Yes, so images, content, is it up to date and relevant? I did this with us recently, this past year. I found that on our main menu website, we had 67 menu options. This is our website now. The menu options were like falling off the end of the page at the top here. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 options for people to navigate and about like 20 drop-down menus. So a significant improvement there. Another tweak to do is update your Google profile. Okay, that also helps with your overall viewability, visibility online as well too. So, and Google reviews are really important too. I'm trying to get us more Google reviews. This is very donor centric. Donors want to know what people are saying about you. So if you're looking for more donors, and this is social proof, maybe just to ask a few people like, hey, would you mind leaving us a 5-star review? Or I know that you're a huge advocate of our services and that you believe in it. Would you mind leaving us a 5-star review? So we're going to have a push for that in our own organization. So website design, this is probably going to be the biggest time commitment that you can make. This can vary from like days to weeks in what you do. It took us a long time to fully update our website, and there were bumps along the way, and Google trying to recrawl our pages. Abby was so patient. She was going through at the time like community service grants, and we did the website like rebrand at the same time, and so I appreciate her patience with that going on. Okay. So I just want to share just some free resources. Google Alerts. This is something you can sign up for in which you can monitor what people are saying about you, especially like news resources. And I'll show you how to do that. Another tactic is Bitly. It is really, really hard to track if your print is effective or not. So what you do is you run your website through this site called Bitly, and then you create that Bitly link into a QR code and insert that QR code onto your flyer. And then you can see in real time, like, how effective your print is doing. And then Canva, you guys, I love Canva. It's a fantastic resource. Did you know that you can edit PDFs in Canva? So you don't have to have Adobe Acrobat. You can use translation, you can have a face cam, you can actually schedule out social media posts in there and have it post directly to your social media channels. There's quick landing pages, your own website on Canva you can create. There's branded QR codes, and there's photo editor instead of Photoshop. And that saves you about $1,500 right there, just those. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. But let me kind of show you about these Google Alerts and Bitly really quick. So Google Alerts. You just have to open up your Google account and you can sign up and know what's going on in the nonprofit atmosphere. Nonprofit, Ogden, Utah. And then when you're going to create an alert for yourself, it goes directly to your inbox. You can say you want it once a day, once a week, what language you want it in. And you can see here what recently has been in the news. Ogden nonprofit helps people transition out of homelessness. This was a Fox 13. When we type in United Way of Northern Utah, let's see what pops up, UWNU. So it looks like one of the first search results is Julie Johnson with the Standard Examiner being named CEO. So that's a great way to just monitor for public relations lies, whether like you need to address something or people are saying something about you that you might not be aware of, that you can address and have your own voice. Bitly, this is what I was talking about, how you can track your print. So we did a parade and we had flyers in our parade recently. The QR code. It had 4 engagements. What does this tell me as a digital marketer? That our parade flyers were not very effective. So we can play with, is it the messaging? Is it just that people threw it away? For me, I don't think it's like much to really like mess with time-wise. I would just probably like move on. Let's see if there's an example of an effective print. It looks like this community service grant got 406 engagements. That was in 2023, so that's maybe something interesting to explore. The season of service got 168 engagements, so this tells me that these were more effective uses of what we had. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are the QR codes tracking that QR code, does that necessarily mean it was effective or not effective? What if it was the people receiving it, one parade in a community versus another community, the use of QR codes? I asked the question for myself because sometimes I see QR codes used and other times I don't. And I think to myself, did we just waste money, right? And so I know people, however, are signing up, even though they're not using the QR code, they are still following through with a sign up, an action, and that may not being tracked on that same screen with that QR code.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. You bring up a really great point. So like, if it isn't being scanned, it's different audiences, it's something to play around with. Maybe like this was one parade. Maybe we try 3 parades. If the QR code isn't getting scanned, then maybe QR codes are not a good place for a parade. But maybe QR codes do really well when you have a booth and you have like an offering at that booth, like an incentive. Scan the QR code, we'll give you a chapstick, right? So maybe it does well there. So it just takes some experimentation, but I know for me, that parade flyers with the QR codes is not generating well in that instance. Another great point that you brought up too, Steve, is that print, even though people might not be scanning a QR code, is great for branding and PR. That is a branding and PR tactic, just a visual of I'm seeing you everywhere, right? Okay. Now, I just want to chat briefly about the future, and I'm only going to bring up a couple of things about the future of digital marketing. I want to discuss voice search optimization and share a few statistics. 41% of adults use voice search daily. And when I mean voice search, this is like, hey, Alexa, tell me what the greatest nonprofit is to volunteer for. Or, hey, Alexa, what nonprofit events are going on this weekend? Or, hey, Alexa, what's going on this weekend, right? 58% of US residents have tried voice search at least once, and 45% use it on their smartphones. 76% of smart speakers users ask about local places weekly. 76%. So, like, 76% of smart speakers ask about Ogden weekly. 61.9% of US millennials are using voice assistants on a device monthly. So this is something that I will just put out there that I don't know much about of how to get into this realm, but I'm interested. And this is something that I'm going to be looking more into for our own organization. And then also the other part of future digital marketing is artificial intelligence. Like we already know this. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but ChatGPT, if you haven't used it, please hop on, just know how to use it so that as things progress, you at least are in the know and know how to navigate and keep up with how fast this pace is moving. You can even make like robots now with ChatGPT on like putting in an article and then that article spitting out in your brand and your voice exactly like what you want it to. So it's pretty incredible work. All right. So lastly, we'll open up for Q&A. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or reach out to me via email, agoodwin@uwnu.org. Are there any questions before we?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to have access to these slides?
Yes.
That was my
Awesome.
question too.
Yeah. Right, Abby?
Yes, I will be sending these slides along with a email that includes a survey. If you can fill out the survey and let us know how we can do better in servicing you, other topics that you'd like to learn more about, that will be coming via email shortly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. I'll just wait a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, like I said, questions, feel free to email me. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Abby, for hosting this. And hopefully you can use this as a blueprint to just help with a playbook for more digital marketing of easy, accessible tweaks that can move the needle forward.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for your time. There were things that I was taking notes on that I didn't know about that I'll be utilizing. If there are any of you out there that would like to learn more about any of the things that Amanda talked about today, please reach out. If you don't have a free Canva account, this is the #1 takeaway. Canva is free for nonprofits. And if you need help signing up, please reach out. I'm happy to connect with you on that. And I hope to see all of you at our AI training on the 21st. It's also virtual and will be recorded if you can't attend. So watch for that, and we will talk to you all soon. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.